Okay. Hello ladies, and welcome back to another aerial yoga class. My name is Kayla and I will be your instructor for today. Quick housekeeping rules before we get started. Please double check your rigging. Make sure that your rigging set is safe for you to jump in and do an aerial yoga class. I do keep my aerial yoga classes very grounded and safe and easy to follow as we are online. So it's very difficult for me to make sure that you are safe. So I just take it easy on my side for you guys to follow along. That being said, you are more than welcome to mute the class, mute the video, and just follow along visually if that is what you would prefer. Otherwise, you are welcome to keep the sound on and listen to me chat around through the class. Next up, make sure that your area is nice and clear of any obstacles, any water bottles, books, notebooks, whatever you have around. Make sure that it is clear that you don't kick or hit anything and that you are safe whilst you are up there. Other than that, make sure you listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right or you are uncomfortable in a position, you are welcome to come out and relax. This is your class, so you are welcome to continue as you see fit. Then last thing I wanted to say, yes, recovery position. If at any point you're feeling a little bit nauseous or you have a bit of vertigo, you're going to come into your recovery position. You've got a couple of options here. You can either go onto your mat if you have one into child's pose. So your child's pose is on your knees and we're going to reach forward. That is a nice recovery position if you want to stay grounded. The other recovery position that you can use is seated in your silk, like so, and you want to bring those shoulders forward, bring the head down, tuck the chin, and that should assist with you feeling less dizzy or less vertigo-ish. Again, this is your class. You're welcome to take it as you feel is needed for your body. Please do make sure you listen to it and continue a practice that feels best suited to you. Other than that, ladies, let's jump in. So we actually are going to start in our silk today. We are going to do a full fabric. No need to fold it in half. So make sure you've got a nice full fabric over here. I do have the mic on, so you should be able to hear me quite clearly. I am going to be in the silk, so this is key to listen to my instructions for the first part of the class and just kind of peek out if you need to, but this would be more of a auditory following along. So sitting in your silk, we are going to start with a cocoon position. You're going to take the back of your silk, stretch it out, and you're going to lie back in your silk. You're going to kick your feet into the fabric. You will be lying on your back. You can cross your hands over your chest if that feels comfortable, or next to your sides, wherever you feel most relaxed. We're just going to take a moment to come into our bodies and taking a nice deep breath in and exhale out. We're going to give the body a little bit of a wiggle. So you're going to just move your body side to side. You can imagine you are like a little fishy and you just want to move the body in the silk. Wake it up a little bit. Coming into yourself, you're in your own little space here. Really just taking a moment to be in a space where you can get ready for your aerial yoga class. Good. Taking your hands, we're going to hold the side of the fabric. So you're going to hold nice and high. You're going to pull yourself onto your side. So you're pulling yourself and flipping onto your side. You're going to have one hand underneath your head to support it. The other arm can relax over your body. And we're going to do a nice big fishy or mermaid movement. So you're going to bend the knees, bring the heels to the bum. You're going to come into that bend position. Then you're going to bring the knees into the chest. You're going to extend the legs, make them nice and straight. And then you're going to draw the legs nice and straight all the way back into a little back bend. Bringing heels to bum, knees to chest. Extend the legs. and sweep them back. So you're doing this big mermaid tail flip. Good. We're going to do a few of those, just really getting the body moving, getting in touch with your silk. Good. Grabbing hold of your fabric once again like before, and you're going to pull yourself and twist all the way to the other side. Hand underneath the head, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Big leg sweeps. So leg sweep to the back, heels to the bum, knees to the chest, straighten the legs and sweep. Good. Grabbing hold of your fabric on the sides, you're going to pull yourself onto your back. You're going to kick your legs out and you're going to pull yourself up into a seated position. I want you to draw your arms out into the back. And one of our first moves that we're going to do as part of our warm-up is a swan dive. So we're going to keep this nice and gentle. We're going to keep it gripped, so you're not going to let go, just because we want to keep it nice and gentle for our first few moves. So we're going to tuck our thumbs into our silk at the back, and you want to bring it down to about your hip bones or just above your hip bones. From here, you're going to lean back, and that's going to anchor that fabric, and you're going to hold nice and high. You're going to kick your legs into your fabric, and you're going to slide the hands down, going into a big, beautiful back bend. Taking a moment here, this is our first inversion of the class. We're going to keep holding on, and we're going to draw up and reach for the toes. This is a counter stretch. So anytime you do a big back bend like that, we want to counter that stretch and bend the back the other way around, basically. Good. We're going to do that one more time, taking those arms out of the silk, tucking thumbs behind the hips, leaning back to anchor, holding nice and high, breathing in and exhale, lowering down to the back. Drawing up, we're not going to stay there too long, and coming forward. Good, you can kick those legs out, bringing the shoulders forward, and taking a moment to breathe here. Good. Holding onto your silk, you're going to pop yourself out. Good. And we are going to bring our fabric to the front of ours. So again, our next section is very grounded, nice and easy to follow along online. We're going to take one foot. It's probably going to be your right leg. It's going to want to go first. You're going to pop your leg into your silk like a knee hook. Okay. We're going to start with some easy lunges just to wake up those legs and hips. So holding on to both sides, we are going to lean forward. We're going to ground that heel into the mat. You're going to lean slightly forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch in that hamstring, in that calf especially, pushing that heel all the way down. Good. We're going to pull up, reaching nice and high, bringing the toe to the knee, leaning back, looking up to the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are doing your aerial yoga class today. Good. Drawing back in, dropping those hands, pushing forward into that lunge. We're going to lift the heel and lower it. Good. Lifting that heel and lower. One more time. Lifting that heel. Should be feeling a really nice, good stretch in that calf. Lifting those hands and looking up towards the ceiling. Bringing everything down, pulling back up. Giving that leg a nice little shake or a swing. Good. We're going to do our first flying move of our class today. So you're going to hold on nice and high. You're going to lean back and we're just going to give a little bit of a swing, lifting that foot off of the ground. You can pop that foot back down whenever you feel you need to. Good. If you want to go for another swing, you are more than welcome to. Swing as much as you like to. Good. Coming back into a grounded position, we're going to give that leg a nice little bit of a shake. Good. We're going to grab hold of our silk and we're going to catch our ankle. So we've now got a nice straight leg in front. When you are in this position, you want to make sure that your silk poles are underneath your mounting points. They can be slightly forward if need be, but you want them quite close to under your mounting points to keep you stable. If you at any point are pulling too far off of your mounting points, i.e. this is coming at an angle, the silk is going to keep wanting to pull you back. You're going to keep feeling off balance. So if you're feeling slightly off balance, your number one thing to do, or your first thing to do, is check your mounting points and where your silk is coming out. If it's coming out at an angle, that's probably what's causing you to feel off balance. So from here, giving that leg a nice big swing, a big shake. Good. If you are feeling quite off balance or you're feeling a bit wobbly, you're going to hold onto your silk and you are going to shake very gently. It does take a little bit of time to get used to a bigger swing with no hands, making sure you're really grounding and supporting in that leg. Good. You're going to go with a bit of a hamstring stretch now. So holding onto your silk, we're going to lean forward very gently. This is quite an intense stretch. So you want to go forward and back and kind of feel where your body feels most comfortable. We're not going into full splits. We are still definitely not warm enough for that. So we are just easing into that position. Good. Taking that grounded foot, we're going to open up the foot, making sure that the arch of the foot is facing the top of your mat. You're going to keep holding on. You can do both legs both hands if need be. You're going to go a little bit deeper here. You're going to really waken up those inner thighs. Good. And twisting back. Good. Now, a little bit of a challenge for you ladies to give a try. I'm going to place the hands on the hips and I want you to lean forward and squeeze back. So this is an active exercise. You're going to feel a stretch, but you're going to have to engage those inner core muscles, those thigh muscles to open and close. So you're using those leg muscles to do the movement. Good. We're going to do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. Good, 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 good. Right. I want you to find the edge of your fabric and we're going to pop our heel inside and we're going to drag the fabric all the way up. You want to make sure that the fabric is over the glute. That's very important for what we're going to do next. So make sure fabric is over the glute. You kind of almost want to give yourself a thong, if that helps. Thank you, dokes. Good. Giving it a little bit of a swing. That leg should feel a little bit more supported, a little bit more cared for. Taking those hands and drawing those hands in towards the foot. You're going to lean forward. You're going to feel a nice deep hamstring stretch. Good. Coming back up, we're going to bend the knee, drawing the heel to the front of that thigh. You're going to make sure that that knee is dropping down. We're not bringing that knee up. We're dropping it down into a standing pigeon. Those of you who have done a pigeon pose before on the mat, it's the same position with that leg. You're going to see a little opening over here. We're going to pop our hands through. You're going to feel like you are being reborn as you push all the way through. Bring those shoulders through. Once your shoulders are through and you've made sure that your silk is still over that glute, you'll be able to sit into that position, into a beautiful elevated pigeon pose over here. You can keep that foot grounded if you feel comfortable. You can let that foot lift up and you can go for a bit of a float. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in the hip, in the glute or in the hamstrings or thighs, depending on if you are tight in those areas. This could definitely stretch some of those if your hips are naturally quite flexible, you don't hold too much tension there. You might feel a little bit, you might just enjoy the floating moment. Good. I normally don't feel anything when I'm in this position, but they are quite particularly tight today, so I am definitely feeling a little extra stretch today. Good. We're going to bring that foot down right underneath us. We're going to straighten and stand up. And I want you ladies to fold forward, fold over that bent leg. You're going to feel a deeper stretch, keeping that supporting leg nice and soft. That knee needs to be soft. Don't straighten and lean into it. Keep it slightly bent, leaning forward, taking a nice deep breath. And coming back up. Coming through. You're going to come out of that pigeon pose, extending that leg. We're going to tuck the silk all the way underneath our arch. We're going to do a little transition so we can do everything on the other side now. So we're going to be elevating. So we are bringing our feet off of the ground now. So be mindful over here. You're holding on nice and tight. You got your grip strength over there. If you are in your menstrual or luteal phase, that grip strength might be a little bit weaker, so just be mindful of this transition. You're going to have a nice straight leg, lean back. You're going to swap the legs over and ground yourself again. Nice and simple, nice and easy, but it can be quite taxing on that grip. You don't have any extra support there. So if you've got a weaker grip strength, or if you are, like I said, menstrual luteal phase, it might be a bit slippy in that position. Coming into that knee hook, and giving that leg a little bit of a swing, and then we're going to go into those stretches as we did on the right side. So you should be on the left side, left leg in the silk at the moment. We're going to come forward, grounding that knee into the floor, pushing forward. Good. I hope you are all still breathing nice deep breaths in and out. That you're having fun and enjoying yourself, getting a nice good stretch as well. Good. Coming back, we're going to lean back, toes to the knee, hands up nice and high, looking up towards the ceiling. Good. Coming back in, leaning forward, really feeling that stretch in that calf. We're going to lift up the heel down to the mat. Lifting up and down. Good job, guys. Lifting up. Good. Those arches of the feet are going to get working. Good. Pushing that heel down, arms up and looking up to the ceiling in that lunge position. This is quite an intense move. If it feels uncomfortable, please come out. Good. And giving it a good shake. Right, we're going to go into our flying lunge here, ladies. So again, holding on nice and high. Again, just be mindful of that grip strength over there. If it does feel a little bit weaker, no shame, bring those feet back down onto the mat. Leaning back, lifting that foot off. We're going into that little bit of a flying position. Good. And grounding out again. We are going to kick that silk all the way out onto the ankle. Good. And giving that leg a bit of a shake out. If you feel like you need to hold on to your silk, please do. You do not need to take your hands off the silk if you don't feel comfortable. I can definitely feel how my hands today, so I'm in my menstrual phase, I started yesterday, and I can feel how I'm holding onto the silk, and I feel so much weaker than I would normally. So I'm a little bit slidey, it's a little bit more tense to hold on. It takes a little bit more extra work, I feel. So that if those of you who are out there who are in sync with me whilst you are doing this class, you probably know exactly how I feel right now. Awesome, ladies. We are going to be holding on. We're going to be coming forward and back, nice and gentle. Remember, we have not woken up this hamstring yet, so we are just gently going forward and back. Good. We're going to be opening up that grounded foot. Remember, arch is going to be in line with the top of your mat. And we're going to be going forward and back, nice and easy, nice and gentle. No need to push yourself. If this is feeling too much for your body, you're going to remain right here and just enjoy. This is a stretch in itself as well. Good. Last two. Good. Bringing those toes back to facing the top of that mat. We're going to bring hands on the hips. Nice little challenge for you guys. Easing forward and back. Ooh, hello. Needed to wake up my core muscles there. And we're going to be going forward and back. Good. Squeezing those inner muscles. Those legs are going to work. Core muscles are working. We're drawing that belly button all the way into the spine. Gearing everything together. That foot is grounding into the floor to stabilize. Good. We're going to be finding the edge of our fabric. And we're going to be drawing that fabric all the way up over the glute, making sure it is all the way over that bum. We are going to give that leg a little bit of a swing. Good. Taking our hands, reaching forward. The nice little gentle stretch. Good. We're going to take that heel, we're going to bring it through into that thigh, bringing those hands all the way through and sinking in into that seated position. Ooh, hello. Good. You're welcome to lift that foot up off the ground if you feel comfortable. Just a gentle hang, nothing too crazy, no pretzels today for you guys. At least no pretzels for me today. I don't think the body's going to go there. Good. We're going to ground that foot down onto that mat. Straightening, we're going to fold forward over that leg. Taking a nice deep breath in. And coming back up. We're going to come out of our silk. We're going to bring our leg completely out of the fabric. Give those legs a nice good shake. This is where you are welcome to grab a sip of water. Grab a breath. recalibrate if need be, or just enjoy the moment. Enjoy that you've been floating around before we jump into our next sequence. Okay. Right, so fun part of our class where we do a few little tricks or inverts. This is where I would definitely advise those of you who are following along to be very mindful. Please watch first. You will be watching this on demand as this is a recorded class. So you can rewind and go back if needed. But I do advise, please, if you've not done an invert before or you're still very new to aerial yoga, please rewatch, watch carefully, rewind if need be, and follow my verbal instructions as best as you can to make sure that you are safe and you do not injure yourself. So we're going to do a nice, basic, easy, beginner-friendly invert. It would be the first true invert that you learn in most of my actual physical classes. We're going to go through that nice and gently, nice and easy. We're going to add a pigeon. Those of you who are comfortable with inverts, you're welcome to follow along with my verbal instructions and add and do your own twists and things as you feel needed to enjoy your own practice. So first things first, I'm going to do it facing this way so it is easier for you to copy. Okay, first things first, we want to make sure that we bring our silk down to our hips. Okay, when you go back on in an invert like this, this is a rope position. It can pinch a little bit here on the hips. So just be mindful of that. That is normal. So you want to bring that rope fabric right here to that hip, right? So right above the butt crack in the hip bones. You don't want it too high. That's going to squish into your side kind of gut, and you don't want it too low because you could fall out in that position. So right here on the hips, those thumbs are going to be what's going to anchor you in place. From here, you want to lean, anchor, coming back. You kind of want the chest towards the ceiling. You're going to lift those hands nice and high. You're going to bring the knees up towards the chest, but you're going to open in a froggy position, okay? Never to the center. You can fall out like that. You're opening up the knees as much as you can. So knees open. Kind of imagine like you're giving birth to a giant alien baby, okay? Sliding those hands down, wrapping the legs round, okay? Once again, knees into the chest, to the outside, or knees to shoulders, leaning back, wrapping legs around. You're going to hook those feet. Once those feet are hooked, you'll be able to let go. Opening up those hands, we're going to do a swish over here. Okay, quickly going to go over a few top tips here for ladies who are shaped differently. So if our thighs are a little bit wider or a little bit thicker, that is fine. You might have some difficulty wrapping the legs, but I'm going to give you a few top tips to help. The other thing that might hinder you from wrapping those legs around your fabric is if you've got tight hips. So when you're coming back, you want to make sure that the angle of that silk is right there by that hip. If it's too far in, you're going to struggle to get round. Open those knees as wide as you can, and we're going to kind of like open the legs here. If you're struggling with the hips or the thighs to wrap around, we're going to remain in this position. You can let go in this position, or you can keep holding on. Once we work on opening those hips nice and effectively, then it will be a lot easier to hook those legs. So for now, we hold here. We're going to take those hips and we're going to try and tuck that tailbone in, and that will help us best we can. Okay, going back to this position. If you've got those legs open, you can keep those hands grounded. You can keep them hooked. We're going to walk our hands to the top of the mat, leaning into our melting heart. Good. We can do a little bit of a twist. Good. Coming into that position, remember you can come up whenever you feel that you need to. Taking one leg off of the silk, taking it to the back. So think heel to the back of your head. If you can grab that leg, you're welcome to. And wrapping back around, taking the other leg back, nice big stretch. And coming back around. To come up, ladies, we are holding our silk behind our knees and we're pulling ourselves up. We're going to stand on two legs, hook into our recovery position. Whew. That was quite the invert, ladies. Coming up into our standing position, we're going to do a small little cool down. It's a nice easy invert for you ladies. Grabbing hold of your silk behind you, we're just going to do a swing, a little bit of a twist here. Right, so for those of you ladies who have never done an invert before and you were struggling a little bit during that video, please go rewind, go back, watch, take it gently, take it nice and easy. I'm going to lean back into that silk. Take your time going through the move. And if you are still struggling, pop us a message. We're more than happy to help. Go through that for you guys as well. Good. We're just taking a moment here to bring our thoughts and our body back into a centered space. We just went upside down. Some of us might have gone upside down for the first time. Congratulations. Some of you ladies would have gone upside down many times, and that was just a good release, a good decompression for you today. Good. Coming down, drawing those hips down towards the mat. We're going to tuck the legs underneath us. We're going to come onto our knees. And we're going to come into a nice grounded position off the silk. Just roll those shoulders. If it's uncomfortable to be on your knees like this, please do sit on your glutes in a cross-legged position. Roll the shoulders. We're going to take a nice deep breath in and exhale out. Good. One more deep breath in and exhale out. Awesome. Ladies, thank you so much for joining in on our class today. I hope that you had a good class. You learned something new, or you decompressed a little or stretched out a little bit. Whatever you needed, you got something out of this class. Be sure to check in next week for another class. Join in live if you are available, and I will see you on the next one.